there is one thing in life you can never avoid: regret. The mark of every great story, along with your own, is one of dilemma. No matter what you do in life, regret follows. Hard decisions are made that will one way piss off one person or the other. That is real life, and one that the great Rudis Doranuma Greirat must face. And Rudy must continue the Greirat tradition. It's time to ditch your children. Alright guys, this video will contain spoilers all the way up to Season 2, Episode 18, Turning Point 3 of Mushoku Tensei. Every great story has a dilemma. This episode presented just that. All the slice of life that happened in Season 2 is one that's built for this very moment. We all have to make huge decisions, and ones that we'll end up regretting either way, but that is freaking life, man. And this is why we love Mushoku Tensei. Life is defined by hard decisions. So yeah, let's jump right into it. The episode starts off how the last one ended for the Hook, but with a touch of a hezi. That's not quite like the upbeat and character developed version of how Norn ended in the previous episode. At least that's what it looked like in the very first scene. Nevertheless, Norn gives a wave back to Doranuma as he figures, wow, all the bull stuff might be over now and I can finally relax and focus on Sylphie. Rawr!
Nope.
I love it when animes utilize a real hook in an episode, and I really say this in almost every single video, because that wave between Norn and Rudy, it tells us that her feelings might not all the way be resolved, that there's still something that's a little bit at odds with her. Of course, she's just very non-communicative like most ladies, where you kind of just have to have psychic powers. But the hesitation between Norn and Rudy tells us that we're at turning point 3, folks. It skips ahead to Rudy and Norn studying in the library together. Norn is surely inching closer to being number one Imoto with the wholesome vibes. Out of the blue, Norn brings up the origins behind Rijerd's spear. Rudy answers that he does know about Rijerd's spear, and it's quite a sad one. So Norn brought that up to see if they could do something for the number one demon Oji-san. This brings us the real insight into what Rudy has been doing all this time at the Renoir Magic Academy. Rudy has been trying to write a book about the tell-all truth of the Sperdo's real past. Rudy deliberates over what kind of style he wants to present this shocking real past, possibly by diary, documentary, or YouTube videos. Bruh is already in his anime figure collectibles bag by thinking about offering a pamphlet with an anime figure waifu. It flashes back to the present, and Norn is asking what the heck Rudy's all bent out of shape over, and Rudy's like, I'm trying to monetize. I mean, spread the love, joy, and the heroisms of the mighty demon Oji-san, the shocking real truth, the Sperdo superhero that protects all children from evil, Rijerd. And Norn's like, that's it?
Don't worry, number one Nissan, I got you.
There are two big takeaways from the beginning of this episode, as it seems to present this new bond between Rudy and Norn. But that wave at the very first scene tells you that there are some underlying things that is still lingering, like mom being a slave. But that's neither there or here. Why is that a saying? It doesn't really mean anything. The other thing that popped up is Rijerd, which made me think, is there going to be some racism in this episode? I'm looking at you on the spectrum, Roxy. Please guys, please don't cancel me. I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers yet. After the opening credits, it shifts back to Rudy being served by the number one Imoto, Aisha. Rudy and Aisha both show their superior. Don't let all their emotions bottle up inside like Norn, and never explain what's wrong by Rudy telling Aisha if she is feeling jealous of Rudy and Norn's alone time together, and also if her maid duties don't turn into this crying Norn and Norn, that Aisha should tell Rudy how she really feels so they can resolve whatever is going on. Aisha responds how us broke folks would respond, especially when you're young as hell and can only work at Chick-fil-A.
Okanemochi ni naritai. Pay me, Doranuma Nissan.
So that conversation results in Rudy taking Aisha to a garden shop where she updates Rudy about her desires to plant some seeds, not metaphorical ones, like real flower ones.
Is that weird?
Nah, I'll take this over Norn hating me any day, real number one Imoto. I'll even magically give you some soil too. Rudy picks up some earrings to give to his wifey, and Aisha's like,
Love me too, Nisama.
Nisama says, nah. Well, isn't this wholesome? Clearly, the beginning of this episode continues to establish this sibling dynamic between Rudy and Norn and Rudy and Aisha. Aisha is clearly the more manipulative and masculine one. Between her and Norn, Aisha's the type to be like,
Dude, give me this deal, or deal with Doranuma Nissan. Don't worry, Nichan, I got my own friend.
Rudy and Aisha continue strolling along, and she tells him that she's never been able to buy all this cool stuff, and Rudy asks if side wifey Lilia wouldn't let her. Of course, Lilia said how Mei shouldn't be trying to take over their master's household, but Lilia puts on her cute childlike manipulation like,
Number one, Nichan, will let me have this, right?
of course Aisha, this is still way less of a headache than this. Then Rudy spends time with his side chick Nanahoshi. Miss Silent 7 Stars updates Rudy about how she will continue to isekai items until she's ready to teleport a whole entire human into the exact location she wants. Like, what if she accidentally teleports herself into a Chinese concentration camp? That wouldn't be good. Don't cancel me, China. In order for Nanahoshi to continue on her experiments, she has to visit a certain expert in summoning circles. Then she gives Rudy a reward of booty. I mean the power to summon booty. I mean summoning some lamp-like spirit thing that's not booty. This particular person that Nanahoshi has been referencing says that that person invented this summoning circle that not even the Mages Guild know about. Rudy's still in his kind of collector brain mindset and is thinking about how he got some rare grail, and Nanahoshi's putting it on Rudy like,
If you keep helping me, I'll give you something better.
wink wink. Thank God, it's nice to see Nanahoshi not looking like this. And her little side plot thing advancing. I guess it's not really a side plot because if she could teleport herself back to ER, that means she could send Rudy back there too. One by one, we can see the flow of the episode taking us to each and every individual character Rudy has personal ties with and updating each one. Turning point 3, guys. Turning point 3. This is with the knowledge that this episode is turning point 3. This is totally winding us down until something significant changes, but we're not quite there yet. There's still a lot of people he gotta talk to. It flashes back to our number one sculptor in the making, Zanaba and Julie, holding up a prototype of this dragon looking figure. Looks like Master Zanaba gave this little elf dwarf slave a cool little present for her hard work, and she thanks Master Zanaba and Grandmaster Doranuma. Ginger finally shows her face and is now back to helping Zanaba. Julie is making tremendous progress at being a normal person with Ginger's help. She's learning some human etiquette. Rudy points out that this knight, Ginger, is more like a wifey at this point. Rudy asks why she's helping Zanaba so much, with Ginger proudly saying that Prince Zanaba's mother told her to. Guys, back in the day, medieval times and stuff, it's a really messed up time, but at the same time, life is a lot more simple because you could just tell people what to do and they can be proud of it. But with Ginger being back for the story, it still sets up something that Zanaba and Julie can be fine without Rudy. Now, it's Rudy's turn to be updated with Cliff's new findings. Cliff tells Rudy that he has something that would suppress Alina Lise's curse that transmits mana from outside her body to counteract the mana inside her. The problem with the item? It's a goddamn metal diaper. Or is it like a Cerebro? Cliff hopes that Nanahoshi and Zanaba can help him shrink this metal diaper down some more. The other major concern is that this metal diaper will suck Alina Lise's mana dry, and that's something Alina Lise is not used to. In order for Cliff to progress in helping break Alina Lise's curse, he's gonna have it suck off Rudy's mana in the meantime. Good for Cliff and Alina Lise, good for them. Rudy is getting into his peaceful flow of things. He begins jogging in the middle of the night, going over his daily routine. This is the slice of life with no little adversity. Rudy never got to live as Fat Neat Rudy. Who needs a real adverse plot and a mom?
I'm a mom.
Wait, what? Aisha tells Sylphie to show her Yuki as Sylphie is home earlier than expected and is blushing. She tells Rudy that to some, this can be a bad thing or a really good thing. In this case, it is a good thing, but it's gonna be a very inconvenient thing. Sylphie tells Rudy,
I'm missing my period.
no! Yes? Rudy gives her a hug as Aisha guides Rudy to give his support to his wifey by saying, arigato. They get close to busting one in the middle of the room and Aisha is like,
Koku Braku!
it's nighttime again and Norn is home. to receive the news, I can't help but feel like Norn is being a little bit fake as she congratulates Sylphie on her pregnancy. Norn's character development is such a 180, so it feels kinda off. Aisha tells everyone that Princess Ariel wrote to them that Sylphie should be taking a couple years off of her duties as Fitz so she can be a fully fledged Kasan. Alina Lise seems to just be a character that does a ton of side quests, as she's like, I'll be your fellow masochist, bodyguard princess. Apparently Alina Lise is like, it's all good, I'll be the bodyguard. Man, Alina Lise is just very good at putting out. Aisha updates everyone with everything and she seems to be on top of everything. If I ever get rich, or if you guys ever get rich, we need to hire a maid or an assistant just like Aisha. And because Aisha is so smart and so good at her duties, Norn is like, the below average in me despises that. Everyone has dinner together and they get to talking about more slice of life stuff, like how real Paul would be ecstatic and shocked at Rudy's pregnancy. Rudy's thinking to himself how the true dream family life is almost in his grasp. Except we've all been thinking of this shit, alright, and it's finally almost come to a halt. Okasan. The plot thickens and Rudy's selfish dreams comes to a halt as reality finally catches up to him, and then Man God? Rudy is once again in another plane of existence in his fat, neat Rudy form, speaking with the Man God. He questions the Man God about what Geese's letter to Rudy is all about regarding the rescue mission to save his mom, as Geese's letter explains to Rudy that, yeah, we might need a little bit more help. Please send help. I mean, for real, please send help. I think we're about to die. Rudy continues to listen to this astral godlike entity, like saving his mom and beggar it would be something he regrets, and the Man God is like, you will regret it if you go there. Is this where I input the what is a god to a non-believer meme? To be fair, Rudy needs a god, and that god is a Man God. Rudy concludes to himself that he would regret not going to save his mother as well. Then the Man God points out all of the positive things that happened to his character development. He built new connections with his new friends. He built upon those bonds with his existing friends, which led to him to grow as a person. He built a positive relationship with both of his sisters. He cured his ED with Sylphie, which overshadowed that fiasco with Sarah, and got freaking married with a child on the way. Still, Rudy wants to be greedy and wants the Man God to explain to him what exactly will he regret if he went to Beggarit to save his mom, when he knows that his mom needs his help. This entire interaction with the Man God teaches us one thing, and that is the same thing I tell everyone in the comments about what they know about the light novel and the manga. The journey is never about knowing the future. That's not real life. There are decisions that you have to make that may end up being regrettable. That is the dilemma. That is the human condition. That is what makes a story good, when you don't know what's going to happen, because that is our reality. What Rudy seeks from the Man God is perfection. In all areas of life, he wants to know the entire future and the reasoning of what is the best path. But as we can see, what Rudy is going through all the way up to this point, that just isn't reality. Rudy can choose to live a happy life, but the rescue of his mother, Zenith, will always be lingering in the back of his mind. He will probably end up having some type of PTSD, some type of nightmare about it every night, that he wasn't there for his mother. At the same time, if he went to go save his mother, he would miss out on all the things that makes Rudy today, and he won't be there for his child, the mother of his child, and all his little sisters, all the people that would probably be better off with him being present. That is great dilemma. That's great writing right there. And overall, that is the ultimate dilemma of life, making hard decisions. This is the purpose of Man God's lesson. Remember, he is a Man God. He's not just God, he's a Man God. So even himself as the Man God, men have flaws. Being a human is flawed. There's a reason why the Man God doesn't tell Rudy about the context of all of the decisions that he'll make. This is something that Rudy has to choose himself. This is the meat, the most essential part of Rudy's dish. In his character development, there is no perfection in life. There is only weighing options and choosing the best that you can, and just living with the results. And this right here is what makes Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation an incredible anime. Your boy can be serious sometimes. After Rudy tells the man god that he doesn't want to live without regret, the man god tells him how obvious everything is. Rudy has been chilling at the Renoa Magic Academy for a year and a half. His sisters took a year with Rijerd and Ginger to get to Rudy. So that means if it wasn't for Rudy informing Real Paul about his whereabouts, his sisters may have been sent to Lilia's family in Asura. Now, Rudy's situation has changed drastically as he has a pregnant wife, and it might be years of her having to be a single mom before he makes it back. Wow, that's very relatable in America. The man god tells him that there are regrets no matter what and suggests that Rudy does stay. So Rudy begrudgingly agrees. Guys, let's think about this. If Rudy does stay with his own family, with Sylphie, raises his child, take care of his sisters, and gets new wives, that is realistically the more easier path in life and the more fruitful one. Going to go save his mom, that is something that we all want and which we think is the right decision. It is most definitely the harder, harsher path. That comes with grueling danger and a bunch of monsters and stuff that could end up killing Rudy. He has to trade his family life, his friends, all of the things that normal people, the average person, would want what Rudy wants naturally and what he can just continue to have. But Kazan, he has to save her. And then the man god updates him about the next mating season for the beasts, Linnea and Persena. How they're gonna try to get wifed up by Rudy. The man god is like, dog, it's time to start your journey as Genghis Khan. Your DNA is about to be everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Rudy can't believe the man god is disappearing right in front of him, telling him to cheat. But is it really cheating if everyone is okay with it? Rudy wants to be faithful, but booty calls. Rudy wakes back up in bed with this crazy ass dream, with Sylphie freaking out over him, having some kind of wild ass nightmare. Besides the wild ass advice of picking up a beast wife, Rudy contemplates over which regret would be more regrettable. He uses his Doranuma logic and at least knows that the timeline to get to Begarit will be a year. That is one thing that is fact that will not change. And Sylphie continues to be the top wifey, the representation of the perfect wife, and knows that Rudy is fretting over Geese's letter to help rescue his mom. Not only is his mother in danger, but his father, all his friends, and Roxy's in danger too. This letter from Geese also has Norn and Aisha completely worried, as everyone should be. It's okay, Rudy. Either way, you're f***ing over somebody's mom. Rudy tells Sylphie that he will stay with her, because I'd rather f*** over my own mom. Rudy starts to think over all the possibilities to make the decision to stay, to be a good husband and father to Sylphie and his child. That seems like the better decision to make. I mean, who's Geese anyways? I mean, maybe Paul already saved mom. Maybe if I go, they may have already saved her. And I would end up losing like 2 years of my damn life for nothing. Come on, Rudy, we all know the right decision here. Single mom it is. Rudy discusses the exact situation with Alina Elise. So you're gonna help Paul and Geese?
Yep.
What about Cliff?
I ain't trying to bang no pope.
Rudy talks to Zanaba about his dilemma as well. Dude is like, do you, master? I ain't about long ass journeys. And plus, you made me basically be a father to Julie. It would put me in the same exact situation why Aisha and Norn is here around the Renoa Magic Academy in the first place. Zanaba continues to be the #1 homie. Dude gives Rudy the best advice ever and gives the reassurance that he will be there to help protect Sylphie and not bang her in the meantime. Zanaba tells Rudy that children grow up fatherless all the time. They tend to be okay still, and totally not traumatized, and don't grow up hating you. Rudy is getting closer and closer to his decision of leaving to save his mother as he checks in on his little sister sleeping. Sylphie should be okay with his little sisters there. However, Rudy knows that he is the head of this family. It is the dilemma that the man god makes Rudy aware of. Things become more clearer though, as social pressures from Norn presents Rudy with an even more clear picture for his next decision. As Rudy is sitting on the stairs of his porch, Norn, who wakes up in the middle of the night to pack up all of her belongings, to make the trip to save mom instead and ditch everyone. I mean, somebody gotta save mom and dad. Rudy's like, what the hell are you doing? As Norn stumbles over with all of her stuff she can't even carry herself and tells Rudy,
if you won't save mom, I will.
Rudy's like, you wanna die early, huh? No wonder you're below average. That is not the smart decision. Rudy tells Norn that he will finally do what he should have done long ago. He will save Kazan. In this family, we ditch our children to have our family members raise them. Norn, you will now roleplay as the father of Rudy's child, aight?
Aye.
Like father, like son, like sister, like brother, passing down the responsibilities is the Grey Rat way. And that right there, guys, is the end of the episode, and this was Turning Point 3. There's nothing in life than to make a very, very hard decision. It really sucks being the manager or boss or at the very top, because you get blamed for the decisions that you make. But when you're at the bottom of the totem pole, you just have to do your job. So Rudy is now everything that he wasn't in his previous life, and now he's at the very top. He is the head of the household. He created his own family. He created these new bonds. But at the end of the day, we all know what he needed to do all along, regardless of his ED, regardless of his wife and future kid. He has to do this one thing, or he will forever regret this decision more. Even though this is most likely going to cause a lot of pain and headaches for Sylphie, the child, and everyone that's still around this Rinoa Academy area. How this will affect Princess Ariel, how she views Rudy, and all this other dynamics. That is just life, and that is what this episode really presented. And I love the man god. I love that he is called the man god. Like what I mentioned earlier in the video, a man is flawed in the fact that it's a god that's called a man. Means his whole purpose as a character in the story is to tell you that you won't have all the answers. All of the decisions that you'll make, you'll regret it in some way. There is just no perfection as a human being, and that is the human condition. That's why when AI and stuff takes over, guys, the utopia that we're looking for, a perfection of people never making mistakes, that's just not real. That will cause a dystopia. Man, this episode was so good in that regard. I love the whole beginning of the episode. It just goes down to pretty much every character that he has interactions with to kind of leave behind, hey, we've been doing this, we've built this relationship, especially Nanahoshi, who she really needs Rudy, which now he'll be gone. There's so many relationships that is gonna sour because of him leaving to go try to save his mom. But as an audience, I'm sure most of us are thinking it anyways. That's what he should have done anyways. So it is what it is. Life is hard. Life is difficult. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought about that interaction between the man god and Fat Neat Rudy. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusin.com. And guys, we're close to 1,000 subscribers here on this channel. And I just want to say, some of you guys have been here for a very, very long time, and I just want to somehow show my appreciation to you guys. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.